Have you ever submitted your tax return late or were charged penalties and interest for paying your taxes late? In this video, I'm going to break down how the IRS calculates penalties and interest for filing your tax return late or paying your taxes late. So stick around. Hi everyone, Steve Lee here with Simply Tax. I'm a CPA based out of Chicago, Illinois, and if you're tuning in for the first time, this channel is all about taxes related to individuals and business owners. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button below because I have a lot of great content coming up and you don't want to miss out. It's tax time, and many of you may be wondering what penalties you may need to pay if you don't file on time or you don't pay all the taxes due on time. In this video, we're gonna go over the types of penalties you're gonna pay if you don't file on time or pay your taxes on time, and a few examples at the very end to kind of go over how the IRS calculates those penalties for late filing or paying your taxes late. For 2019, the individual income tax return filing deadline is April 15th, 2020. You can also file an extension which will extend your tax filing deadline to October 15th, 2020, an additional 6 months. Please don't forget to check out next week's video where I go over how to file an extension. We're going to separate this video into two different sections: late filing penalties and late payment penalties. Number one is a late filing penalty. If you don't file your tax return or an extension on time, you may owe a late filing penalty. The reason I say may is because a late filing penalty is based on how much taxes you owe. So let's say you're due a tax refund. If you're due a tax refund and you fail to file on time, then you won't owe a late filing penalty. The late filing penalty is 5% of the total taxes due for every month your tax return is filed late, up to a maximum of 25% of the total taxes due. So there is a cap. If you file more than 60 days late from the tax filing deadline, the minimum payment due this year will be $330 or 100% of unpaid taxes, the lesser of the two. Okay, so either $330 will be the minimum, or 100% of the unpaid taxes, the lesser of the two. Number two is late payment penalties. If you didn't pay all your taxes due for 2019 by April 15th, 2020, even if you filed an extension, you'll owe late payment penalties. The late payment penalty is 0.5% of the unpaid taxes for every month the tax remains unpaid, capped at a maximum of 25% of the total unpaid taxes. For any month, the late payment penalty or the late filing penalty both coincide. The 0.5% penalty for late payment penalty is actually waived, okay? So both penalties do not apply, okay, in any month where both the late filing and the late payment penalties are both applicable. Interest is also tacked on to any unpaid taxes. It's compounded daily, and the current rate is 5%, which is based on the federal short-term rate of 2% plus an additional 3%. So right now the interest charge on unpaid taxes is 5%. So as you can see, by not filing on time or paying your taxes on time, you can end up owing a lot more to the IRS. Let's take a look at a few examples to see how this all works. All right, let's lay the groundwork for these examples. Let's say you didn't file your tax return on time by April 15th and you had $1,000 in taxes due, okay, that you didn't pay as well. Scenario number one. Let's say you actually filed an extension on time, but you didn't pay the taxes due by April 15th of $1,000. Let's say you paid it 10 days later on April 25th, okay? Remember, the late payment penalty is 0.5%. So 0.5% applied to the $1,000 is actually $5, okay? Add on another $1 for interest, on the late payment. So in total, it's between $5 and $6 is the penalty for paying your taxes late on that $1,000. Scenario number two, let's say you actually don't file an extension on time, but you file your tax return late on April 25th along with the $1,000 tax payment due. The late filing penalty would be $50, and we calculate that based on the $1,000 taxes due and the 5% late filing penalty that we just talked about. So remember, when late filing and late payment interest both coincide, you get the late payment interest of 0.5% waived, but the IRS still charges you 5% on the taxes due for the late filing penalty. So $5, and then add another $1 or so for the interest that's compounded for the late payment for the 10 days that you didn't pay the taxes on time. Okay, so you're looking at between $50 and $51 in terms of a late filing penalty if you don't file your taxes by April 15th, but by April 25th. In this example. All right, scenario number 3. Let's say you file your tax return 5 years late and you pay the taxes due of $1,000 5 years later. What is the estimated penalties and interest? We estimate it to be about $534. And the way we calculate that is, first, we calculate the max late filing penalty of 25% of the taxes due, which is going to be $1,000 times 25%, which is going to be $250. The rest of it is going to be the interest on the late payment due, which is going to be compounded daily over that 5-year period. And that's granted that the interest rate doesn't rise and doesn't change. So we're saying that it stays at 5%. So you're looking at $534 worth of late filing penalties and interest for not filing your tax return on time or paying your taxes on time in this scenario. As you can see, you definitely don't want to file your tax return late or wait to pay any taxes due, because you can end up owing the IRS a lot more. All right? Don't forget to subscribe to this channel, because next week's video, I'm going to show you how to file an extension so you can at least avoid the late filing penalty. I'll also leave a great link to a website in the information section below this video so that you can actually estimate and calculate what your late filing penalty or interest on taxes due could be if you're not able to pay by April 15th this year on any taxes due, or file by April 15th or October 15th. So thank you for watching this video. I'll see you next time.